गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Vivekachudamani. Before lockdown, we have done Vivekachudamani up to Sloka 105. 105. The numberings may vary in some books. In some book it may be 107. Because the breaking up of the shlokas vary from book to book. Therefore, when I say a number of Vivekachudamani Sloka, it may slightly vary in your book. It may be either one number more or one number less. So we have seen up to 105. Now we have to go to 106. But before that, let's brush up what we have seen so far. It has been many months since we have touched Vivekachudamani. In the beginning, there is introduction. From Sloka 1 up to 13 is introduction. Then from Sloka 14 to 31, the author discusses adhikari, a qualified student for the discipline of Atma Vidya, Viveka, Vairagya. All those were discussed up to 31. Then from 32 to 49, the author introduces a guru and a shishya to initiate the dialogue. Vivekachudamani is in the form of a dialogue between guru and shishya. So the author introduces a student, a shishya, and a guru. Then the shishya approaches the guru and asks questions. Sloka 49 is the question. Ko nama bandhaha kata, all those things. Ko nama bandhaha ityadi. There are 7 questions. Then Guru starts answering the question from Sloka 50. Sloka 50 to 70. The questions are answered in brief. It is in the form of a brief introduction to moksha sadhana. Then from 71 onwards, the Guru elaborates on what he has told before. He begins Atma Anatma Viveka. Distinction between Atma and Anatma. It begins from Shloka 71. In the process of Atma Anatma Viveka, we are discussing the Anatma. One way of looking into the Anatma is in the form of 3 shariras, namely Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Karana Sharira. Among them, first we have discussed the Sthula Sharira. From 72 to 91 was the discussion of Sthula Sharira. Then from 92 onwards, we have discussed Sukshma Sharira. While discussing Sukshma Sharira, the Guru talked about a component of Sukshma Sharira, which is called Antahkaranam. We refer to it generally as mind. In the Vedantic parlance, mind is Antahkarana, the inner sense. The faculty associated with the thinking, emotions, cognitions, identification, and so on. That is where we had stopped before lockdown. While discussing Antahkarana, the author made a statement that Sukha and Dukkha belong to the Antahkarana. See Sloka 105. At present, I am using this book, Ramakrishna Mission. I don't know whether it's visible to you. Translated by Swami Madhavananda, Advaita publication. Some of you might be having other books. There are varieties of various books available. Chinmaya Mission, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Gita Press, Ramakrishna Mission, etc. So you can refer to any book because the content is same. The shlokas are same. Only problem is with the numberings. The numbering might vary slightly. So when I say a particular number, if the line is not found there, you can look here and there, above or below, and you will find the shloka. So nothing to worry. So the author made a statement, Sukham dukkhancha tadharmaha Sada-ananda-swarupa. Sukha and Dukkha. Sukha means pleasure. Dukkha means pain. These two are two pairs of opposites. Sukha and Dukkha. Two opposites. When there is Sukha, there cannot be Dukkha. When there is Dukkha, there cannot be Sukha. And they come and go. These are two forms of experiences in life. Sometimes we have Sukha. and sometimes we have dukkha because of because of the conduciveness of situation of our life. We get sukha. When the situation is adverse, then there is dukkha. Generally, we identify with the sukha and the dukkha. Sometimes we say, Aham sukhi, I am happy. Sometimes we say, Aham dukhi, I am sad. That means we identify with the sukha and dukkha. But now the Acharya says that sukha and dukkha do not belong to the Atma. Then where are they? They are the attributes of the Antahkarana. Sukha and dukkha belong to the Antahkarana, the mind. They do not belong to the Atma. This was the statement. Then a Purva Paksha is possible, an objection is possible. When we discuss the Shastra, always there is a Purva Paksha, an opponent. He will raise an objection. How is it possible? How can you say Sukha and Dukkha do not belong to the Atma? Atma means the self, the one which deserves to be called I is Atma. We identify with the Sukha and Dukkha. Aham Sukhi, Aham Dukhi. Then how can you say Sukha and Dukkha do not belong to the Atma? Then the author's vision is called Siddhanta. One who holds on to the Siddhanta is called Siddhanti. We have a Siddhanti and a Purva Pakshi. One who raises the objection is called Purva Pakshi. And one who answers the objection and establishes the correct vision is a Siddhanti. And his vision is called Siddhanta. His conclusions, which are the conclusions of Vedanta, are called Siddhanta. Now the Siddhanti answers the Purva Pakshi that Sukha and Dukkha cannot belong to Atma because Atma is Sada-ananda. The nature of Atma is Ananda, happiness. Since the nature of Atma is Ananda, Atma is Sada-ananda, always Ananda. Just like heat is the nature of fire. Therefore, fire is always hot. It is not that fire is hot sometimes and cool sometimes. It doesn't happen. The nature remains always. Since Ananda is the nature of Atma, Atma is Sada-ananda. Since it is Sada-ananda, Sukha and Dukkha, which are temporary experiences, they cannot belong to the Atma. This is our answer to the Purva Pakshi. Now Purva Pakshi raises a question. How can you say Atma is Sada-ananda? What is the evidence? What is the pramana to say Atma is Sada-ananda? He wants a pramana, an evidence. Then we say there is Shruti pramana. Shruti means Vedanta Vakya. The statement of Upanishads are pramana. There are many statements to that effect. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Raso Vaisaha Rasagyahyevayam labdhvanandi bhavati Ohyevanyat kaf pranyat Yadesh akasha anando nasyat, etc. There are many Shruti Vakyas. Therefore, Shruti is Pramana for the Ananda Swarupa of the Atma. The Upanishad says so. The Purva Pakshi is not very happy with this answer because he wants a logical support. How can you logically support the Ananda Swarupa, the Sada-ananda-swarupa of the Atma? To satisfy the Purva Pakshi, we logically establish the Ananda Swarupa of the Atma. The author uses a logic. Yatra yatra pritihi tatra tatra anandaha. We love various objects. We like various objects. Most of us like sweets. Some of us like a chakuli. Chakuli is a shashkuli, the round, savory, eatable coil which we eat is called chakuli. So some of us like a chakuli. Some of us like payasa. So we like various food items. Why do we like these objects? Why do we like rasgulla? Why do we like jalebi? Because we find happiness in the given object. We find ananda in the given object. If I like rasgulla, it is because I find happiness in rasgulla. If I like a jalebi, there is happiness in jalebi. This is our general observation. Based on repeated observations, we arrive at a generalization, a general rule. Yatra yatra pritihi. Where there is a love. Tatra tatra anandaha. There is ananda. If we like an object, if we love an object, it means there is happiness in the object. This is a general rule. This general rule is called vyapti. Vyapti is a logical terminology. So, yatra yatra pritihi, tatra tatra anandaha. Now, this general rule can be applied to understand a particular case. The particular case is the Atma. We love Atma. How do you know? All of us love ourselves. There is self love. So there is a preeti. There is love for the Atma, for the self. Therefore, there is happiness in the Atma. There is ananda in the Atma. So the logic is Atma anandaha priyatvat. Atma is ananda because Atma is priyaha. So we established that there is ananda in the Atma. Now we have to establish that Atma is Sada-ananda. Always happiness. How to do it? The same general principle can be modified slightly. Yatra yatra pritihi, tatra tatra anandaha. This was our general rule. Let us modify this. Yatra yatra sada pritihi, tatra tatra sada anandaha. Where there is constant love, sada pritihi, tatra tatra sada anandaha. There you find constant happiness. Where there is constant love, there is constant happiness. This is our new general rule. Now, how to apply this to Atma? To apply this to Atma, Atma should be Sada Priyaha. We should have constant love for Atma. It is also true because when we love an object, the love for an object is conditional. Why do we love an object? We love an object because it serves our purpose. We do not love an object for the sake of the object. You love Rasgulla. Why do you love Rasgulla? Not because Rasgulla has to live. You don't allow the Rasgulla to live. You eat the Rasgulla, it is gone. Therefore, the love for Rasgulla is not for the sake of Rasgulla. It is for your sake. You like to eat it. It serves your purpose. It becomes your food. That is why you love Rasgulla. Therefore, the love for any object is conditional. As long as it serves my purpose, I love the object. It is true not only with the Rasgulla, not only with the jalebi, it is true even with our relations. In Brihadaranyaka, Yajnavalkya tells Maitreyi, Nava are patyuh kamaya patif priyo bhavati, Atmanastu kamaya patif priyo bhavati. A wife does not love her husband for the sake of the husband. The wife loves the husband for her own sake. As long as the husband is nice to the wife will love the husband. Once the husband starts troubling, there is divorce. Nava are jayayai kamaya jaya priya bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya jaya priya bhavati. A husband doesn't love the wife for the sake of the wife. The husband loves the wife for his own sake. Therefore, the love for anything other than Atma is conditional. And a conditional love can never be a permanent love. It can exist as long as the condition is satisfied. But the love for Atma is unconditional. We do not love ourselves for anything else sake. Atma is loved for Atma's own sake. We love ourselves for our own sake. Why do I love me? Not for somebody else's sake. Therefore, the love for oneself is unconditional love. Therefore, the love for Atma is not time bound. If it is unconditional, if it is not dependent on any condition, it is not time bound. It will remain always. Sada priti. Atmani sada priti. The love towards Atma is sada, always. Therefore, Atma Sada-ananda-ha. Yatra sada pritihi, tatra sada-ananda-ha. Atmani sada pritihi, tasmat Atma sada-ananda-ha. This is the development of the logic. Let's look into the verse. Atmarthatvena hi preyan विषयो न स्वतः प्रियः स्वत एव हि सर्वेषाम् आत्मा प्रियतमो यतः तत आत्मा सदानन्दो नास्य दुःखं कदाचन. So the author begins by establishing Sada Pritihi in Atma. Atma is always loved. That which is always loved is called Priyatamaha, most dear. Unlike any other object, whether sentient or insentient, Atmarthatvena hi preyan vishayaha na swatah priyaha. Vishayaha. Vishayaha means object. Object is anatma. Anything different from the Atma is object. It can be Rasgulla, it can be Gulab Jamun, it can be Jalebi, it can be computer, it can be any relation, any relative. It can be cloth, anything. All are Vishaya, objects. The object is Priyaha, is dear. We love the object. What for? Atmarthatvena, for the sake of ourselves. Not for the sake of the Vishaya, the object. Vishayona swatah priyaha. Vishayaha atmarthatvena preyan. An object is preyan, dear, for the sake of Atma, not for its own sake. Na swatah priyaha. But unlike the Vishayas, swata eva hi sarvesham atma priyatamaha. The Atma is swataha eva priyaha. Sarvesham, for everyone. Whether it is a human being or a monkey or a donkey, for any being. Atma is priyaha, is dear, swata eva, for one's own sake, not for the sake of anything else. Therefore, Atma is priyatamaha. Priyatamaha means sada priyaha, always dear, always loved, constant love. Sada priyaha. Since Atma is sada priyaha, Atma sada-ananda-ha. Tataha Atma Sadananda. Yataha Atma priyatamaha. Tataha Atma sada-ananda. So, the Sada-ananda nature of the Atma is established with this logic. In fact, we don't need logic. For us, Shruti is enough. Because we accept the validity of Shruti Pramana. When the Shastra says something, we are convinced. But the Purva Pakshi needs a logic. Without logic, he doesn't get convinced. That is why, to support the statement of the Shruti, we need to go through all these logical build. Atma sada-ananda. If Atma is sada-ananda, it cannot have dukkha. because Ananda and Dukkha cannot coexist. Therefore, Nasya Dukkham Kadachana. Atma does not have Dukkha. It is always free from Dukkha. It can never be associated with the Dukkha. Therefore, Dukkha is not a property of Atma. Therefore, Dukkha belongs to something other than Atma. And what is that? The Antahkarana, the mind. The Dukkha in the mind is superimposed on the Atma. We mix up the Atma and the Antahkarana. Because of the mix up, the Dukkha which is present in the Antahkarana is attributed to the Atma. That is why sometimes we refer